Reality explodes through my skull in one of those migraines you can only get from close to corruption. The reliability of this city, murders you can set your watch to or time your oven for an apple pie. And yet somehow every time I turn my back or rest my eyes, I miss the photo op that's gonna lift me out of this hellhole. Shameful business, I know, leeching on rich degenerates for a quick buck, but then again I was born in this city. Shamelessness ain't exactly something I've ever been privy to, not that I deserve where I am now, mind you. Follow a lead on a dirty politician and you end up in a snake pit. I knew all the pathetic mugs in the lineup with me. Urchins of a world I stepped into only to pay the rent on the miserable closet I call home down on 26th. First in line was Harlan Walker, the dirty politician that led me into Studio 55 in the first place. Harlan's a businessman who thinks the whole city is his personal king-size mattress. A prime suspect. The senator-to-be had been shaken so violently by the dirty photos Lester had taken of Harlan with Lester's wife Cindy that he had taken the time to visit Lester personally at Studio 55. Thugs mean business. Personal visit means you're scared shitless. And why not? Crazy Lester had reportedly shrugged off his wife's involvement in an extramarital romp, handing her the photos and telling her to go file them under I for insurance. Next was Travis, leader of the local's Hells Angels chapter, a little more keen on high living than his West Coast affiliates, but Travis still had an unofficial record of violence that had reportedly impressed Gotti. Up until 2 weeks ago, Travis supplied Studio 55 with all the uppers and downers a cosmonaut would need to make 3 voyages around the sun, and all in the comfort of his armchair. The night I first started watching the joint, Travis had been cut out by Lester for some disco king on account of the rough handling he'd given to one of the girls the night before. I suspected there was more. Travis got the rough handling that night, and I hadn't seen him until today, but the underground grapevine's been whispering some dirty little rumors of violence and payback. Clearly the boys in blue have been keeping their ears clean. Standing in the middle was Ginger, Lester's only daughter, and a washed-up model bleached so long she had already shriveled like a prune. A few years ago I had the pleasure of ending every night with the sight of a beautiful figure, glowing in from the 30-foot billboard across the street. But now a cocaine-ridden frame looked like it could barely pick up a razor blade, let alone a Smith & Wesson. Then again, maybe I underestimate the bite left in that little girl. After all, her father had handed her a rather rough warning after catching her in the back room with Travis. And standing next to me, stinging up my nostrils, was Ralph Evinrude, a lowlife with a taste for gin and a penchant for horse racing. I had had the unfortunate pleasure of siding up next to him at the bar 3 nights ago. Eavesdropping on his conversation with Lester, I couldn't tell if Ralph had balls of steel or peanuts for brains. But the maniac seemed unfazed by Lester's angry demands for the return on some borrowed money. Unfazed, that is, until Lester pulled out a picture of his daughter. Ralphie went blue in the face, and I could tell only a miracle was going to get him the money he needed. And there I was, 5th in line. No real dud on me, except I was the only one at the scene of the crime when the boys in blue arrived. Of course, I was too late for the incriminating photos I so badly wanted, but I was just in time to take in some of the gory aftermath and wind up in the pen. It was all hazy in my mind, just like the alcoholic stupor I woke up from when I had the shots ring out. Hazy, but still I had all the pieces, and somewhere in there was the piece that would put everything together. I left the precinct that day wrapped up in the excitement of intrigue and suspense. Never before had I been so deep in the Land's Den. And now here I was, Nick Pasquarelli, arrested at Studio 55 on a murder charge. Yes, were I an outsider too, I might have thought myself a prime suspect, but not for one thing. I too was shot by the man who killed Lester Brown.